Hello, everybody. This is Robin Da Vinci. I've been gone for a while, and the reason I've been gone for a while is that I wanted to really sit back and assess what the new administration was doing with our tax money and how in the world are we going to manage with these new ideas or these very radical plans for the money we give the government. So I said, you know what today should be? Today should be a really good lesson in how money works with the federal and state government. We are the ones supporting that. Now, when I say that, I want you to understand that yes, the government has loaned out money to other countries and there is interest income. We do now have these tariffs in place that the average person believed the tariffs would be paid by the foreign governments or the foreign countries supplying us with goods and services. That's not true. The American people are going to absorb those costs. Now, there's controversy about that, and there are people saying, no, we're not. And there are people that are saying, yes, we are. And some corporations have even put on their receipts, oh, this is a tariff, and this is why the price of what you're getting is much higher. So all of those things are still playing out. There are still deadlines for tariffs to start. We've been given really no reports. There are random stories about we've gained 3 trillion or 2.10 billion or whatever, but we don't know if it's true. And since we've never really held the government responsible for reporting back to us, this is what I'm going to get into in the next few minutes. Number one, we should hold our city, county, state, and federal governments accountable for the money we give them. That means they need to provide us with financials. And I'm sure your eyes are glazing over and you're saying, well, I wouldn't know how to read them. Well, I'm here to help you read them because I know how to read them. I've been in business for 42 years and I know how to read financials. And I can tell you we're in the hole. Now, when you say to me, oh my goodness, I want the government to run efficiently and I don't want people getting government jobs who aren't really working, and maybe this department has too many people in it, I can't disagree with you. Why? Because I don't know how the government was set up to begin with. I don't know the number of workers that are there. I don't know what their benefits all are. I don't know how much they cost us. I do know that Congress, which is the House and the Senate, costs us a lot of money. And we're giving them salaries and we're paying housing and we're giving them benefits. They needed to analyze one department at a time, see what was going on in that department, analyze the overhead, and look at the financial for that department. Now, when you say, Robin, what the hell's a financial? That means how much money goes into that department, from where, and how much money goes out of that department. And at the end of every day, are we in the hole or are we positive? And we can do that with every single department in the government, wherever it is, and don't let them tell you you can't. So now let's get to where I feel the angriest. I'm going to tell you how taxes work. I'm going to do a lot more videos that will seem more aggressive. I might seem agitated or confused, but I'm going to bring it all to you so we can get through this nightmare. Here's how it works. You get a paycheck, or you're an independent contractor, or you're a corporation, and you send money to the federal government. You send it in the way of personal income tax, you send your Social Security in, you send your Medicare in, and then your employer matches it, or if you're independent, you match it. So you're sending an enormous amount of money to the federal government for them to spend for you. And that is happening very badly. And they can say it happened over time. They can say, oh, these administrations did it, these didn't. It's true. All of them have screwed up. What happens is our money comes out of our checks, goes to the federal government, and then it's supposed to take care of the military, the border, and then it's supposed to come back to the states for programs like Medicare, Medicaid, education, healthcare, research, science, medicine, daycare. It is supposed to come back to us. So it's like sending your money to a savings account and then removing it when you need it for all these special things you're doing. So let's say you save up $10,000 in a year, and then you're going on vacation for $5,000, and then there's soccer for $1,000, and then there's new tires for $1,200. That's the savings account. That's what the federal government is supposed to do. They are supposed to pay for those things, border protection and military and highway safety and roads and bridges. They're in charge of that with our federal money. And then they're supposed to also fund education and healthcare and research and science and give it back to the states for emergencies like earthquakes and fires and floods and tornadoes. That's what it's supposed to do. And that's what they're trying not to do. They're trying to say, we want your federal money, but hey, states, you're on your own. And that's not the way it works. And now the states are saying, scrambling, trying to get money to give services to their own citizens of their state. So then it works the same way with the state. The state collects money, and then the state is supposed to, they pay for their admin, and they pay for, our interstate highways or things like that. They pay for education. They send our tax money back to us. So in the state of California, you pay state tax, and then they send it back to you in terms of services. Our public schools, our hospitals, our child care, our medical research, our Medicaid, which is called Medi-Cal. That's what they're supposed to do. So we give it to them, and then they parcel it back out to us. Same with property tax, same with sales tax. Sales tax is something that goes to the state, and then they give your county and your city back the sales tax they collected on your account. And that's supposed to be income to the city you live in, and income to the state you live in, and the county you live in. So what you're not understanding is it's supposed to come back to us. So if you're on that stagecoach or that train or that fast Ferrari that says we don't want the government doing these programs, then in essence, we shouldn't be giving them any money. We should say, okay, I'm going to give you this much money for the military and for the border and for bridges and roads. But if you're not going to give me back money for Medicaid and education and stuff, I'm going to give it to my state, and I'm going to let my state spend it. So I'm seeing a big comeuppance, and I'd love for all of you to get on the bandwagon with me. You need to support me. If the federal government is not going to fund those things with our federal taxes that go to them, then what we have to say is we're not going to give you that much federal tax money. We're going to send it to our state. Now, some of you are watching go, oh, my state doesn't charge any personal income tax. Well, it's going to. The reason they didn't, and this is going to be very controversial, blue states, and I'm telling you, most of the states in the United States are purple. They're red and blue. They're not so much blue or red. That is BS. And if you're buying into that, you need to look at the real polling. But anyway, the blue states, and all of you red states might get angry at this, the blue states fund the red states. California funds the entire South, basically. Maybe not Texas, but the rest of them. With the federal money we're sending to the federal government, they are then putting it into the southern states and the red states that don't have personal income tax. So Florida, they're trying to get rid of property tax. Well, they're going to have an income tax. Do you know why people move to Florida? Because there's no personal income tax. Well, in Texas now, property tax is 3%. In California, it's 1% of the purchase price. In Texas, it can be up to 3%. When you're moving around thinking, oh, I'm getting out of California and going somewhere else, good for you. But make sure you understand what you're buying into in their tax structure. So I am supporting send less money to the federal government, for sure, and give more money to your state. Spend your money in your state. Give your money sales tax. Give your money your state sales tax. Give your state the money they need to run it. If the federal government is saying, oh, you know what, we're going to let the states handle their disasters, then we can't send them money if they're not going to send FEMA to us and give us back our money for our state. I hope you understand what I'm saying. And the problem is, I never mind if my federal tax goes to North Carolina when they've had a flood. I never mind if it goes to Kansas for a tornado. But there are people in this country who are not really United States citizens, but into their own, who say, oh, I'm not giving money to California, or I'm not giving money to Oregon, or I don't care about Massachusetts or New York. You can't say that if you're a citizen of the United States. We either all get our federal money for our disasters or none of us do. If my federal money isn't going to go to the Texas flood victims, then I don't want my federal money to go to the federal government, because I want the people of Texas to be made whole. And the people of Texas don't have a fund to be able to do that. Do I seem angry? Yes, I am. This is the first thing I'm going to preach about, and I'm going to probably stop preaching in a minute because I've been going on for quite a while. But I want you to understand that that's how the federal money works, and that's how your state money works. So if you're not getting from your state what you need, it's either because the federal government isn't giving it back to us, or your state isn't collecting income tax and doesn't have an income stream big enough to support the needs of the state you're living in. So my friends, when you make a move because you get an attitude about a state, or you think it's going to be cheaper to live there, check it out first. Ask for financials. You can go online on ChatGPT or Google and say, what is the financial strength of South Carolina or Idaho? You can go ask and they'll tell you. Don't move there unless you know their property tax structure or their sales tax structure. Don't move there if they don't have Medicaid and you might need it. Don't move there if they don't have a disability program and you might need disability. You aren't doing your research, and taxes are our money paying them. Remember, we're giving it to them like a savings account and we're expecting it back when we need it. And what's happening is we're giving it to them and we're not getting it back when we need it. I think that's pretty clear. So I hope you understand my message. Now, I'm hoping you get the next message too. And now I'm going to start giving advice at the end of every video. That's just for your personal use and to help you through things. So here's my advice for today. Before putting on your makeup, this is going to be my blooper reel, okay? So here's what I want to tell you. After applying hair growth solution to your hair, wash your hands with soap and water before applying makeup or face cream. I wish I had known that before I did it. I wish I had read the direction. Good day, everybody. Like and subscribe and comment on the video, because I'm sure I irritated a lot of people. And if that's what I have to do, that's what I have to do. Be well and thrive, and I'll talk to you soon. I'll probably shave.